It begins with a boy placed where grown men hesitated to stand. Muhammad bin Qasim entered history without ceremony, carrying a responsibility far heavier than his age suggested. While most teenagers were shaped by protection, he was shaped by expectation. Authority did not arrive as honor, it arrived as a burden. Every command he gave carried consequences for soldiers, civilians, and distant rulers alike. His youth was not inspiring to those around him, it was unsettling. Power placed in young hands invites doubt before respect. He had no margin for error. Failure would not be forgiven as inexperience. From the beginning, his life proved that leadership is not granted by years lived, but by trust earned under pressure. He was chosen not for ambition, but for discipline. In a world of politics filled with leaders hungry for recognition, Muhammad bin Qasim stood out because he followed structure rather than ego. He listened carefully, executed precisely, and avoided unnecessary violence. Those above him did not see brilliance. They saw reliability. Command was entrusted to him because he could be controlled as much as he could control others. Authority did not inflate his identity, it narrowed his focus. He governed himself before attempting to govern land. In an era where rebellion often followed success, his obedience made him valuable. That same obedience would later make him vulnerable. Sind was not a prize waiting to be claimed, but a region shaped by tension and resistance. Local powers understood the terrain, the politics, and the people far better than any outsider. Alliances shifted quickly. Loyalty was conditional. Control changed hands often. This was not a land that rewarded brute force alone. Violence could conquer territory, but not stability. Muhammad bin Qasim entered a region where authority was fragile and trust was rare. Victory would mean nothing without administration. Every decision would either calm resistance or ignite rebellion. He was sent not to destroy, but to manage complexity. Understanding mattered as much as strength. His army moved with calculation rather than anger. Orders were measured, not emotional. Supply lines were protected. Civilians were not treated as enemies by default. This restraint confused opponents who expected terror to announce conquest. Muhammad bin Qasim understood that fear spreads faster than control, but lasts far shorter. His leadership style avoided spectacle. Discipline was enforced consistently. Soldiers followed rules because consequences were predictable. Power expressed itself through order, not cruelty. His command felt quiet, but it was firm. This approach reduced resistance, but it also denied him dramatic moments history prefers to remember. His real power revealed itself after victory, not during it. Cities that surrendered were not punished blindly. Agreements were honored. Protection was extended where compliance existed. Law followed conquest instead of chaos. This consistency built legitimacy more effectively than intimidation ever could. Muhammad bin Qasim understood that authority survives when people know what to expect. Trust grew where fear was withheld. Administration replaced destruction. Stability replaced spectacle. These decisions prevented rebellion, but they also removed drama from his story. History favors conquerors who burn. When control was achieved, there were no celebrations, only responsibility. Muhammad bin Qasim did not pause to enjoy success or announce triumph. Battles ended, but the administration began immediately. Order shifted from movement to management. Cities needed governance, not spectacle. He focused on maintaining order, securing supply lines, and preventing unrest. Reports were written carefully, stripped of personal pride. There were no monuments built in his name. No public ceremonies marked his victories. Stability mattered more than recognition. Silence followed success because silence meant things were working. Yet in history, silence often appears as absence. His greatest achievements produced no dramatic moments to be remembered. Order replaced excitement. Efficiency replaced legend. Power earned far from the capital often creates fear within it. As news of Muhammad bin Qasim's effectiveness spread, admiration mixed with anxiety. Senior figures began to see his competence as unpredictable. Youth combined with success unsettles established authority. Loyalty is questioned when results come too easily. His obedience did not shield him from suspicion. Politics does not reward efficiency without control. Decisions affecting his future were made by people who never saw the battlefield. Ink replaced swords as the weapon of power. Command can be taken without explanation. His fate was no longer shaped by his actions, but by how others perceived them. Distance distorted truth. Silence invited doubt. His removal came without rebellion, resistance, or failure. There was no final battle to lose, no mistake to correct. Orders arrived that demanded compliance. Command was withdrawn quietly. Support vanished without defense. The same discipline that had made him effective now prevented him from resisting. He obeyed even when obedience erased him. No public trial allowed him to explain himself. No chance was given to defend his record. History did not witness a downfall. It witnessed the disappearance. Muhammad bin Qasim left power not because he was defeated, but because he followed orders to the end. Obedience closed the story. Silence sealed it. What he built continued, but his name did not. Administrative systems remained in place. Order outlived the man who created it. Stability does not preserve memory. Without advocates, his story faded quickly. Others stepped into the space he left behind. Louder figures claimed attention. His restraint worked against him after his fall. History favors those who leave disruption behind. He left the structure. The boy who commanded empires left no statue, no epic, no monument. Only results remained, disconnected from the person responsible. His absence made replacement easy. Systems survived. Identity disappeared. History does not remember those who refuse to perform their greatness. Muhammad bin Qasim never turned success into legend. He did not rebel to dramatize injustice. He did not frame obedience as sacrifice. Narratives are built on conflict, not control. Discipline is efficient, but not memorable. His story lacked chaos at the end, and chaos is what history remembers best. What should have defined him as exceptional instead hid him from attention. Memory rewards those who demand to be seen. He chose restraint. History moved past him quietly. Noise outlived nuance. Drama replaced discipline. His life proves that impact and remembrance are not the same thing. A young commander reshaped a region, stabilized disorder, and then vanished from power without resistance. Leadership built on responsibility survived in systems, not in stories. His youth showed that authority does not require age. His discipline showed that violence is not the only path to control, yet silence erased him. Muhammad bin Qasim stands as a cautionary example of history itself. It remembers noise, not effectiveness. He governed quietly, and because of that, the world forgot. His success endured, his name did not. Do you think Muhammad bin Qasim was forgotten because he chose discipline over drama? Should history remember results more than rebellion and spectacle? Share your thoughts and perspective in the comments below. Explore more forgotten leaders whose quiet power shaped history without noise.